Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get to this podcast off the ground, I had so many questions. How do I record an episode? Where do I find my background music? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places people like to listen? Where do I find the advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. So, if you want to start a podcast, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Hey guys, and welcome to the episode of Marvel Tuesday. Well, it's not going to be like any other Marvel Tuesday. I don't have any topics to do because of the pandemic going on. But however, I am going to be talking about it's related to the pandemic. We already know that COVID-19 has ruining business like JCPenney's and of course, one of the restaurants getting shut down. But however, I do have one thing that COVID also ruined is, of course, movie theaters. Because we already announced that No Time to Die, which of course has Rami Malek and of course Daniel Craig on his final role as James Bond. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say, with that delay, Regal Theater was shut down. And we already know that Phantom's Tom Hardy will make a debut as the sexy agent himself. But although, sadly, that's the case, because COVID also got the films. So we're not going to have no Marvel Cinematic Universe films will be released in 2010. Well, originally, Black Widow was going to be delayed to November, and of course, we got and the Eternals and Doctor Strange in 2020. And the Eternals in 2021. And then those three films, however, are delayed to 2021 as Spider-Man 3, which is going to be of home. Like we already had Homecoming, we already have Far From Home. But however, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, but we don't have any, we're not going to have any films in 2020 at the MCU. But the only one that was recently released was New Mutants. Now that film isn't that bad, but it's not but it's not great either. It was just lackluster. It was just lackluster, to be honest. And I can't believe. Yeah, Mutants is the 13th and final film of the X-Men universe. But I like to say, not all rewrites are going to be, of course, have great outcome. Like Fantastic Four, of course. I was excited to see that. And then, I was lied to. I mean, we got Logan. We got Deadpool, however. We got Logan. We got Deadpool. Show. Sorry, I've been yawning. That's not, So, recently, the Birds of Prey film, however, is, of course, going to be, it was the same as Suicide. Or it was better than Suicide Squad, but it was okay. Because it's less Birds of Prey, but more Harley Quinn. And of course, the next one we're going to get, but around Christmas time, is, of course, Wonder Woman 1984. With, of course, Gal Gadot and Kristen Wiig. And Pablo Hidalgo, who, of course, was on Game of Thrones. Last time I saw him on The Mandalorian, where his face was revealed, the last time I saw him, his eyes were gouged out. But that's already for Star Wars. But the last time I saw him, he had a mustache, his head was bleeding before IG-11. And I just want to say, of course, I'm sorry. He says, this is absurd. This is a complete absurdity. I'm not defending the Marvel Cinematic Universe or anything, but COVID always ruins everything. It took about 200,000 lives in the U.S., and it took a million lives globally. 1 million deaths. And businesses are hurt because all of, some businesses are shutting out, like in movie theaters, because I love going to the movies. And that's a complete absurdity because, I'm not saying COVID's an absurdity. I'm saying, just this is unfortunate, and jobs are lost. I'm sorry if I'm not going political, and to quote the moderator for Fox News, wear the damn mask, and that's what I've been doing. Well, only when I leave my home. But in my house, I take it off. But, but I only do it when I go outside. And yes, even when I go to the movies, I wear a mask. And of course, with Martin Scorsese and Clint Eastwood saying that it's not going to survive, but, But there's some movie theaters that are surviving, They're surviving the pandemic. And of course, this is why, of, jobs that ruins, and of course, movies getting delayed, movie theaters getting shut down, retailers getting shut down, and of course, this is just it's a plain absurdity. I'm not saying what I did is an absurd, but it's just, complete absurdity, It's, we need, because, I've been fighting tooth and nail for my job, That's what I've been doing for so long. I've been fighting tooth and nail, to get the pay, because of my job, didn't need me right now, but at least it took me like 6 days to be back in the saddle. And then of course, and we closed on Sundays because I base, but at least I got to see the sports, however. I got to see NASCAR going virtual. But like I say, you can't just, it's just, you can't just put yourself in harm's way. We don't need to be afraid of a pandemic. It's just, we can't be afraid of this virus. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to, and I just want to do my job in this podcast, okay? Like I say, I'm not taking this out on you, everyone who are listening. If you're listening to this is not my frustrations I'm taking out of, like I would never, you all have been wonderful interviews. But this pandemic, it's the reason, is at fault here. Because, we're better than that, And we don't want the, it's just for money, and of course, the economy goes up and goes down. And even our president of the United States, the current one, has been tested positive. And the First Lady and half of his administration were tested positive. And his children were tested negative. And I'm sorry if I go involving politics in this one, but I hope Trump recovers. I hope President Trump and the First Lady recover, because I'm not for Trump, but we don't need another American tragedy, just like with FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Everyone, even the ones who support the Republicans, have mourned his death in office. And yes, and I took a sneak peek of Countdown 1945. Where, of course, in a sneak peek, and Eleanor hugged Harry Truman and just told him the president's dead. Because, like I say, we don't need an American leader to lose his life, or his wife lose her life. No. I just want things to go back to normal, Like I say, it's not your fault, everyone. It's the coronavirus's fault. It's just how it is, Alright, guys, hopefully I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow and maybe find some topics. But of course, I'm going to be fully back in November for Star Wars, the Wednesday Awakens, for the Mandalorian reviews. No, I'm just saying, sorry if I ranted on the half of the minute, because I'm tired of, the pandemic ruining everything. But, I just want it to be, better, Alright, guys, that's going to be about it for Marvel Tuesday. And hopefully we'll have a movie review for me in 2021. Of course, I already got it on Spreaker since I had to, delete my anchor. And, of course, add some and re-upload it. Alright, guys, that's good about it. I'll see you guys next time.